Okay, so first of all, let us try to understand what is biasing. Okay, and how do we solve biasing based clipper. Okay, what is biasing? Can anyone tell me? Okay, biasing is nothing but it's something like
Source,
right.
external.
Correct, correct. So it's about applying voltage, right? So biasing. Biasing is nothing but connecting external supply, DC supply actually, DC supply. Okay. Now, connecting an external DC supply into your existing circuit gives you a process called as biasing. Now, why do we need this biasing? I think in the introductory class I have told about this. Why do we need this biasing? So we need this biasing in order to clip the waveform at the desired level. So with the help of biasing, one can clip the waveform at the desired level. At the desired level. Okay. If you look at your conventional half-wave rectifier, it works as a negative clipper, right? So entire negative half cycle is clipped. But if you do not want, to clip away the entire negative half cycle, what are you going to propose? Okay, so you can propose biased clipper in case if you don't want to clip the entire negative half cycle. Okay, so let's look at the different permutation and combination of biased clipper. Okay, so first let us consider. Let me write a series clipper only. Okay, series clipper. Okay. So in bracket, let me write biased practical diode clipper. Biased practical diode clipper. Let me consider. Okay, fine. So let us consider first. Let us draw the circuit diagram. Okay. So circuit diagram. Okay. So here is your diode. Okay, and just to tell you the classification. So this is once again a negative clipper. Okay, this is your negative clipper. Okay. This is your diode, and let's say that a battery is connected with the circuit in this manner. Okay, so this is your load. All right. So what do you have? You have a diode. Okay, and this diode is connected in series with an external DC supply. Okay. So let's say the external DC supply has a potential of say 2 volts. So this is minus and this is plus. So 2 volt is the external source voltage. And let us say this diode is made up of silicon because we need to incorporate the practical diode analysis, right? And let's say this is your VI. Okay, so it's a sinusoidal signal. with the maximum value of 5 volts. Okay, so that's the description of the source signal. Sinusoidal source signal with a maximum voltage of 5 volts. Okay, and this is where you are going to measure your output. Fine. So what is that you are going to do in order to solve a biased clipper? Okay, so first of all, what you have to do is you have to inspect the circuit carefully. Okay, so in this circuit, it is pretty clear that you have been given with a silicon diode. So what you have to do is you have to replace the given diode symbol with its equivalent diode model. All right, so first step is to create the equivalent circuit. So let me write here equivalent circuit. Okay, so let us call it as step 1. So let's construct the equivalent circuit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace this diode with a practical diode. Okay, I mean the equivalent circuit. Okay, so this is the barrier potential of the diode, plus minus. Okay, and let us write it as Vk. And what's the value of Vk? The diode is made up of silicon, hence the value of Vk is 0.7 volt. Okay, and then you can connect your external DC supply. Okay, plus minus. And what's the potential of external DC supply? 2 volts, right? It's a 2 volt cell. And then you connect your load resistor and close it off with your sinusoidal source. Okay. Remember, sinusoidal source description is given here. The maximum value is 5 volts. So every time I'm not going to write the description. Okay. So this is your ideal diode D. Fine. So in step 1, what we have done, we have drawn the equivalent circuit. Now, once you have drawn the equivalent circuit, in step 2, what you can do is compare the connection. Compare the connection of Vk and Vr, where Vr is your DC supply. Okay, so this I'll write it as Vr. So compare the connection of Vk and Vr. What do you mean by compare the connection of Vk and Vr? What I mean to say is that how these two sources are connected with each other. If you observe carefully, minus to plus, the Vk connection is, and Vr connection is also kind of minus to plus. So it is something like Vk tries to send the current from left to right, and Vr is also sending the current from left hand side to right hand side. So you can say that the two cells are connected with additive polarity. So the total potential of these two cells, these two cells is equal to 2 plus 0.7. So here we can write 2 plus 0.7 is equal to 2.7 volt. Is this step is clear? Is this step is clear? Can anyone confirm?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once that is done, you can quickly get into the analysis mode. Okay. So once that is done, you redraw the circuit. Okay. Now I can speed up the things. Okay. Plus minus. What is the overall potential? 2.7 volts. Okay. And this is your load resistor RL. Vi with a maximum value of 5 volts. Okay. So this is your ideal diode D. Okay. Now you go for the analysis. So let us consider positive half cycle. So in the positive half cycle, let's consider the polarities. Okay. So Say this is plus and this is minus. Okay. So in the positive half cycle, we see that the source Vi is trying to circulate the current in this manner. Okay. On the other hand, the DC voltage, that is 2.7 volt cell, is trying to circulate the current in the opposite manner. So there exists the source, comparison, right? So one is trying to send the current in clockwise direction, and the other is trying to send the current in anti-clockwise direction. Now, the conduction of the diode is based on the source domination. Okay, so first let us consider case 1. Case 1. Okay. When input is less than 2.7 volt, what happens to diode conduction? So when your input is less than 2.7 volt, you can say that 2.7 volt cell dominates. Okay. So 2.7 volt cell dominates. So let me just circle this cell. Okay, if 2.7 volt cell dominates, then what happens to the diode conduction? So as you can see, this 2.7 volt cell, okay, the positive terminal of this cell is connected to the cathode. Okay, hence the diode gets reverse biased. So diode gets reverse biased. And the equivalent circuit looks something like this. There will be an open circuit equivalent in place of diode. Then comes the effective cell voltage, 2.7, resistor, and the source. And this is where you are going to measure your output voltage, minus plus. So your loop current is 0 in this case, right? So when your current is 0, you will get the voltage as 0 volt. So for case 1, when your input is less than 2.7 volt, the output is 0. Okay. Now let us look at case 2. Okay. Case 2 comes into picture when your input is exceeding the fixed DC level of 2.7 volt. Okay. So what happens when your input is greater than 2.7 volt? So when your input is greater than 2.7 volt, the input starts to dominate. Vi dominates. So when Vi dominates, what happens? When Vi dominates, the input is going to forward bias the diode because Vi has more potential to drive the current in this case number 2. So Vi dominates and I flows and D gets forward biased. All right. So let us draw the equivalent circuit. So diode gets forward biased. Hence you can replace the diode symbol with the short circuit equivalent. So followed by 2.7 volt cell. Okay. And the battery, sorry, the load resistor, the source. Okay. This is your Vi, V0, R. Okay. So there will be a flow of current. Hence you can apply KVL in the clockwise direction. So when you apply KVL, what do you get? You get Vi minus 2 plus minus 2.7, then minus V0 is equal to 0. Okay. So Vi minus 2.7 minus V0 is equal to 0. Or V naught is equal to Vi minus 2.7. Okay, let me just confirm whether it is correct. Or V naught is equal to, right, Vi minus 2.7. Okay. So this is your output equation. Okay. So when your input Vi becomes Vm, and what's the value of Vm in the problem specification I have given? Vm is equal to 5 volts, right? So when your input hits the peak value of 5 volts, what will be the output voltage? So output voltage is 5 minus 2.7, right? So 5 minus 2.7 is 2.3 volts. You can see that your output peak is limited to 2.3 volts. In the previous problems, we used to get the output peak at the VM level itself. But in case of biased clipper, you will not get your output at VM. Instead, your output will be reduced to a different value. In this case, the output got reduced to 2.3 volts. Okay. So now let us look at negative half cycle. Negative half cycle. So in negative half cycle, you don't have to do anything. You have to just flip the polarity of the source. Okay. This is your Vi, the diode, the battery. Okay. And the load resistor RL. And this is where you are going to measure your output voltage. Okay. Now, in case of negative half cycle, if you inspect carefully, the input is trying to send the current in the anti-clockwise direction, right? The input source is trying to send the current in anti-clockwise direction because of the flipped terminals. And your battery, 2.7 volts, is also trying to circulate the current in the anti-clockwise direction. So if you observe the current directions of input as well as 2.7 volt cell, you would see that both sources are helping each other in circulating the current in anti-clockwise direction. By doing so, what happens is that, if you can observe here, the negative terminal of the source is connected to the anode, and the positive terminal of the battery, if you observe, it is connected to cathode. So Vi and 2.7 volt cell help each other in reverse biasing the diode. So you can write both Vi and 2.7 volt cell are going to reverse bias. In short, let me write RB, reverse biases the diode. Okay. So therefore, current I becomes 0, and voltage V naught is nothing but I into RL, that is 0 into RL, that is 0 volt. So for the entire negative half cycle, the output remains at 0 volt value. Okay. So with the help of biasing, though we were not able to control the negative half cycle, we could control the positive peak of the output. All right. So in the third slide, let us draw the waveform. So first, let us draw the input waveform, omega t. This is your input, and below the input, you can draw the output. Say this is your V naught. Okay. Say input is represented with blue. Okay, let's draw the input. Okay. So this is the maximum value of the input. And what's the maximum value? Maximum value is 5 volt. Okay. Let us draw the transition points here. Okay. And if you observe that your positive half cycle is getting affected with the DC voltage, right? So what you do, you draw a DC level of 2.7 in your waveform. So let's say this is your DC level. Here, let me write 2.7 volt. Okay. So this DC is going to cut your AC at some distinct points. So from those points, you draw the transition points, okay, onto the output waveform. Okay. All right. Now let's sketch the output. Okay. For the values of input less than 2.7 volt, the diode is off. Okay. Again, for the values of the input less than 2.7 volt, the diode remains off. On the other hand, when your input Vi starts to exceed the fixed DC level of 2.7, what happens? The diode gets into conduction and there will be an output waveform. There will be an output waveform. Okay. So this is your output. This is your output. Okay. So one important observation is that when your input hits the peak value, the output will not, follow the input peak value. Instead, the output peak is limited to 2.3 volt. So basically, the whatever waveform you are seeing on the output axis is basically this waveform. This waveform, the waveform which is found beyond 2.7 volt level. Okay, so that's your output waveform. And for the negative half cycle, we have seen that the output remains 0, right? So that's your output waveform. Okay, this is your output waveform. Finally, let us draw the transfer characteristics. Transfer characteristics. Okay, so how will you draw the transfer characteristics? Draw the axis. Okay, this is your positive half cycle of the input. This is your negative half cycle of the input. I mean, the scale you have chosen. This is where I'm going to project the positive output voltage, and this is where we are going to project the negative output voltage. Okay. Now, in the positive half cycle, the source comparison comes into picture. And what is the breakover point? Breakover point is 2.7 volt. So please mark 2.7 volts somewhere over here. All right. And then also mark the maximum value, that is 5 volt. Okay. Similarly, on the negative half cycle, you mark the maximum value of the input. So in the negative half cycle, maximum value of the input is minus 5 volts. All right. Fine. Now let us draw the transfer characteristics. Okay, you don't have to calculate the slope because right from your output waveform, it is possible to draw the transfer characteristics. Okay, you don't have to explain, what slope it gives when both the inputs, both the waveforms are AC, etc., etc. Okay, you have seen that from the output waveform that when your input is less than 2.7 volt, what is the output voltage? 0. So when you get 0 output voltage, you will get a straight line parallel to x-axis. Okay, so this is basically your 0 volt level. Okay, and the moment when your input exceeds 2.7 volt level, the output, okay, so somewhere here you can draw. Okay, this is your AC. This is your AC. Okay, and also mention the peak point of the output. What is the peak point of the output? 2.3 volts. So mark 2.3 volts here. So this is your transfer characteristic. So in the transfer characteristics, You can even write that this region is DC region and this region is your AC region. So this is your transfer characteristics. All right. Okay. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this? Can anyone confirm? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, one small, I would say, activity. I don't know how are you going to take it up. What I will do, I will draw a transfer characteristics. Okay, this is called as reverse engineering or synthesis of the circuit. Okay, very important, design step it is. I'll give you the transfer characteristics, and you are supposed to draw the circuit diagram for that. Okay, and you are supposed to present it here. Anyone can present, whether right or wrong doesn't matter. Okay, try to present your circuit. Okay, so quickly copy down the transfer characteristics. Okay, this is like exercise problem. Okay, exercise problem. I'll draw the transfer characteristics and you have to draw the circuit diagram. All right. Okay. This is very important. You are under the assumption that you will consider an ideal diode. Okay. Now, what you have to do is you have to first inspect your transfer characteristics. Okay. Where, in which quadrant your output is present, that is what you are supposed to see. So your output is present basically in first quadrant, right? Where input is also positive going and output should also be positive going. That means to say, for the positive half of the input, you should get some kind of positive going output. So that's the first thing. Okay. And the output starts to appear from 3.3 volt level onwards. All right. So the output starts to appear from 3.3 level volt onwards. So this 3.3 volt will be your reference voltage. So reference voltage for this particular problem is 3.3 volts. Okay. Now, why I have taken directly 3.3 volts? That's because the value of Vk, we are supposed to take it as 0 volt. That's because I have given an ideal diode case. Okay. So VR will be the threshold value. All right. And what's the peak value of the input? It is 10 volt. So this is going to be Vm. All right. Fine. And in the negative half cycle, okay, if you follow the minus x-axis, you see that there is no trace of the output voltage. So your output is basically 0 for the entire negative half cycle. Okay. So with this information, you will be able to construct the circuit. All right. So let's construct the circuit. I'm assuming a sinusoidal signal. Okay. In fact, you could even take a square signal. Okay. I'm assuming a sinusoidal signal, Vi. This is very important. I have to write the maximum voltage as 10 volt. So for this particular sinusoidal signal, the maximum value is 10 volt. Place the diode in this manner and claim it as ideal diode. All right. Followed by the placement of the battery. So battery needs to be placed logically. All right. So this is your VR, and what's the potential of VR? 3.3 volts. Okay. And then comes the load resistor. Alright. Okay, and this is where you will observe your output, minus, plus. Okay. So did anyone get this circuit? It's okay, I'm not going to check also. You can
Yes,
just
sir.
write yes in the chat box. At least I will get to know that, you know, to some extent you have understood the clipping.
Yes, sir, with it.
Okay, good, good, good. Right on, right on. Plot, first one, VI versus V0, that is input versus output. And the second one is transfer characteristics. Transfer characteristics. Okay, for the circuit shown below, and this is the circuit. So this is your VI, whose maximum voltage is 5 volts. It's given, and this diode, it's given that it is made up of silicon, and this will be your biased voltage. Okay, VR, and its value is 2 volts. All right, so this is the problem. Try solving this problem.